You all skill, they say that karma is a Be Well Kevin tracker, is discovering that the most difficult way possible, since he has lost everything gone belly up, and is likewise vigorously in the red. And now that he is done moving in real money, his boothing and child mom, Sharina Hudson has supposedly unloaded him, since she isn't about that split life Kevin, as of late focused on his setbacks. And you all will have a hard time believing what he needs to say. Does he truly need Wendy back, you alls? So I simply realize that Wendy Williams is sitting someplace, snickering in light of the fact that word on the roads is that Sharina just unloaded Kevin in light of the fact that he went belly up. I mean, we as a whole sort of saw this approaching well in advance. And it occurred in the most insane of ways. So to give you a few setting, Kevin and Sharina have been together for around 16 years now, since they initially began sneaking around together in 2007. Obviously, Kevin was as yet hitched to Wendy, and they even had a kid together, yet that didn't make any difference to Kevin. As though betraying Wendy wasn't terrible enough, he was likewise spending Wendy's cash to fund a rich way of life. For Serena, one of the primary things that Kevin did was to send Sharina to an extravagant school to be a back rub specialist. Well, that didn't exactly turn out for herself, and she before long dropped the entire thing. Well, Kevin was the ideal friendly benefactor, since he opened a major booth for her in her local town of South Carolina. Yet that business turned out to be a lemon as well, yet he didn't abandon her. And he then, at that point, put resources into another web-based dress and gems store called Vish. And I think you can envision how that wound up. The store was another disappointment, yet did Kevin surrender as of now? Obviously not. He assisted her with getting guaranteed as a real estate agent yet again. This didn't exactly figure out. He then opened up a veggie lover organization for her, which was the fifth organization he was setting up for her. He additionally brought her a house that cost just about $1 million around the very neighborhood that he resided in with Wendy. In the event that you're considering the way that Kevin could manage the cost of this, he would be able to was all Wendy's cash that he was showering on his side piece while he brought in fair cash. Filling in as a maker on the Wendy Williams show, he didn't make remotely close to the point of supporting Sharina's way of life. And the kicker is that Wendy had some awareness of the undertaking. Yet she had one rule: Kevin was not to have a child on her. Well, Kevin wound up disrupting this guideline since he had a child young lady with Sharina. Wendy was grief-stricken, and she petitioned for legal separation. Yet she didn't stop there, since she likewise took an extremely unimportant action. As per Kevin, when the news was out, I told her I would step down from the show. And Wendy let me know I really want to remain in light of the fact that I was having a youngster. I remained exclusively to later be arranged. I got terminated from the board, served legal documents, and furthermore terminated from the show all around the same time. I don't suggest that you work with your better half, since I made him my chief. And afterward, when I chose to separate from him, he must be terminated. Another. I made him separated and jobless. Across the board day, anyway, she and Kevin got separated. And Kevin proposed to Serena with a ring worth around $80,000. And she gladly flaunted her ring via virtual entertainment. And on the off chance that you're thinking about how Kevin could bear the cost of it, well, Wendy was all the while paying him provision, so she was still sort of paying for Kevin and Serena's way of life. Now she went on a meeting, and she said this, and in an extremely plotative individual, you realize, like, I will plot on you, believe it or not. And that is the reason I'm going into season 11. And he's changing spoils. Kevin ought to have accepted this as an advance notice, yet he didn't. He and Sharina keep on residing off Wendy's divorce settlement installments. However, at that point, Wendy began having her medical problems, and her show at last got dropped by the organization in view of her lengthy non-appearance from the show. Well, this is how things began veering off track for Kevin. In light of the fact that the support installments quit coming in, he flew off the handle and had a meeting where he got down on Wendy and her group, saying Wendy was in recovery. And these individuals recently quit, saving my cash pure and simple presently. I'm requesting to see all the bank records from the hour of the separation, as of recently. And that will show what's truly happening. These individuals have attempted to starve me out toward the day's end. I brought in that cash. And I'm not allowing them to take it. I will just say for the present that it makes me extremely upset to see what is befalling her. I realize she isn't in a decent spot, and she is encircled by individuals who are making the most of her condition, not allowing them to take it. I will just say for the present that it makes me extremely upset to see what is befalling her. I realize she isn't in a decent spot, and she is encircled by individuals who are making the most of her condition, including this supposed guardianship individuals. Found this amusing on the grounds that he had additionally been made the most of Winnie for a really long time before their separation. We, in the end, got to know he sounded so distraught in the meeting, because in light of the fact that his monetary circumstance was wrecked, he was penniless destitute, and required the provision installments severely. He uncovered this in a meeting where he said, I have fallen behind on a large portion of my bills. I, as of now, live locally that expects installments to the mortgage holder's affiliation. And I'm behind on that bill on the off chance that the property holder's affiliation charges are not paid. Dispossession will before long follow. My vehicle insurance hasn't been paid. Because of not getting month-to-month severance installments, I'm behind on visa installments. Since I have no cash since the severance installments were suspended, my life has been significantly impacted since the offended party quit pursuing installments under our repayment. Understanding the way that I can't support my life and cover my bills altogether is very pressing to me. I can't take care of my bills and support my everyday residing, so it just so happens Kevin and Sharina have been residing off the support installments. And when it halted, they went belly up. Now recall when Wendy said that she was plotting great, it just so happens she had her legal counselor slip in a proviso into the divorce settlement installments that said that she didn't need to pay Kevin, assuming she left the Wendy show. The statement expressed, if under any condition offended party's policy, offended party being breezy, with top ambiguity, isn't restored or potentially is generally suspended, dropped, or ended, and offended party has no other TV program being circulated, and paying her a comparable compensation, protected otherwise known as Kevin comprehends and concurs that all severance installments will be liable to one or the other end or change. Wendy was playing chess while Kevin was playing checkers, and it returned to haunt him. He had a go at suing Wendy for the provision, yet the case got tossed out of court. So in addition to the fact that he was poor, he owed attorney charges. Yet that is not the most terrible part, since reports currently have it that Sharina has unloaded him after he went belly up. He thought she was his rider passed on, yet she said psych and plunge, as per a visually impaired thing that as of late became famous online far out in the distance. A moderator is enjoying an extraordinary chuckle. Her sequential conning, sequential taking X said a final farewell to his escort. She was spending a lot of his badly gotten gain sources. Likewise affirmed that Sharina had left Kevin and moved back in with her mother. Now I'm hearing that Eric's better half, Kevin and Sharina, are as of now not together, and you understand what that is all around. Come on, now the cash go on. What will happen? The cash is gone. Karma came for Kevin, and it came for him hard. He lost his provision installments, and furthermore his sugar child, sorry, life partner. He's going through it at this moment, yet individuals don't feel frustrated about him by any means. As a matter of fact, this Twitter client anticipated that this would happen. Say Kevin Tracker been having this unlawful undertaking for 10 or more years. His significant other, that his paramour, has been imploring him to leave, only sought legal separation. Sharina can have him 100 soon enough, and watch her not need him any longer. Regardless, they never need you when you're free. This other individual got out whatever circumvents comes around, assuming he's so savvy. He ought to have realized she won't remain with him when he got broke. That is presence of mind. And someone else remarked Kevin is getting all that he merits. What goes around would return around regardless of what amount of time it requires. For that is on Mary had a little sheep invite back sovereign Wendy. Yet I need to understand what you all figure about this. Did you see the separation coming? Or were you surprised additionally? How about karma be going somewhat excessively hard for Kevin? Let me in on your thought process. And afterward look at this next video unfamiliar.